Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, over $170 million in unemployment benefits paid out by NIB. We've got the story. 2 days after it crashed, the education minister says the virtual platform is fully operational. Plus, police warning about parties on family islands.
Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News, and thank you for joining us. I'm Kyle Joachim. Topping news tonight, the National Insurance Board has paid out $176 million in unemployment benefits to nearly 80,000 Bahamians since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. This number includes those left unemployed by Hurricane Dorian last year, as well as those self-employed. During a press conference this evening, NIB Minister Brenza Rhodes said those receiving general NIB unemployment benefits will see the amount of money received decrease from $150 to $100 effective this Friday.
The ordinary NIB unemployment benefit for contributors to the National Insurance Fund, $91.6 million to 37,000 persons have been paid by NIB.
Since the start of the pandemic, NIB has paid 96,000 transactions for sickness, maternity, funeral, and other benefits and assistance totaling $36 million. $90 million has been paid in retirement benefits and grants for old age pension alone. NIB Director Dr. Nicola Virgil-Roll explained that as some employers bring on their employees, there are some who do not inform NIB that they are back to work, but still collect their NIB unemployment benefit.
We have an audit team who are going through meticulously all of the unemployment payments to date. And as they go through anything that looks amiss, they do go through, they call and check on the payments to make sure all is well. And so we look at both overpayments, underpayments as well, and then also incorrect payments. And so where we do find these things, payment plans are put in place for the persons to make restitution for them. And where there is fraud, we do address it in other ways as well.
Now, as for how long the $100 in unemployment payments can be sustained, Roll gave this explanation.
The government has the ability to provide some assistance. We don't see ourselves as the instrument where we may be able to provide the Rolls Royce. We're now down to the Toyota, and we will move, and when it goes to December, it'll be approximately 9 months.
Education Minister Jeffrey Lloyd says the virtual learning platform is now fully operational and has been tested repeatedly to ensure that it is working following a system crash on Tuesday. However, education officials acknowledged during a news conference today that there are still some challenges.
I'm proud to announce that our system is fully operational and maximized at its greatest efficiency.
The education minister offering reassurance that Tuesday's technical errors, which caused major issues for students and teachers on the first day of classes, have been rectified. However, as news of Lloyd's comments spread on social media, some parents and teachers told Our News that their high school students would log in and notice that they were in 6th grade classes. We pointed out those concerns during the press conference. Gotten a lot of response from teachers as well as parents saying that in fact it's not the case. Some saying their students are assigned to other classes, some saying they don't have any students in their classes. But was this system given a full test run to, I guess, test the capacity a week or two prior to school reopening?
That would probably be better for Mr. Allen.
At 8:39, many persons, thousands of persons, clicked that button for login. That would have been the issue that brought about the challenge that we had. The testing did take place with the loading of the system with 50,000 persons last week.
Education Director Marcellus Taylor says some students may have given up and decided not to log in again after Tuesday's debacle. He admitted there are also challenges with scheduling, but said they're working on it.
The need for students to be assigned to the correct classes and teachers to be assigned to the correct classes. And some of that is we require more detailed information from the schools so that we could properly place student X in class Y with teacher Z.
The ministry is working along with the one-on-one technical platform out of Jamaica.
As we move forward, we are anticipating that we will, because the system is new, have challenges. Some will be of a technical nature, although we are hopeful that we will not have the level and the type of interruption that we had on Tuesday.
Taylor says 21,000 students logged in and took part in virtual learning on Wednesday, which shows that students are taking an interest in their education during this difficult period.
Despite the naysayers and the purveyors of doom about the educational system in the Bahamas and the interest of our Bahamian students and their parents about appetite for educational advancement, yesterday and the day before and continuing has proven that to be false.
A huge jump in new coronavirus cases as the Ministry of Health confirmed 194 new cases and 3 additional deaths last night. 172 new cases were confirmed on New Providence. Grand Bahama and Andros each had one new case, and the location is pending for 20 new cases. Meanwhile, a 79-year-old woman and a 66-year-old man on New Providence died from the virus on Wednesday, while a 51-year-old New Providence man died on the 13th. The COVID-19 death toll now stands at 112. The number of COVID cases is 5,385. Hospitalized cases also rose to 112. Well, the latest round of restrictions on New Providence has forced one business owner to close permanently. Meanwhile, other businesses are struggling to serve customers curbside and fear they too may have to close. Here's Bertha McDermott.
Lockdowns brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic dealing a devastating blow to local businesses, with one local business owner saying he's now been forced to close his doors for good.
100% the lockdown is the cause of my downfall. It has been the lockdown, the constant lockdown. I mean, imagine not being open and still paying rent. Imagine not being open and still paying light bill. Imagine not being open, and still paying a phone bill and internet bill. Like, there is no revenue coming in, but there is much money going out.
Dean says he sought assistance from a few government entities but was unsuccessful.
I have approximately ball figure $125,000 worth of brand new equipments, brand new furnitures, brand new POS system, security system. It's just there. I have 4 degrees. I decided to come back here to the Bahamas, to make an investment, and I can't seem to get help.
Other businesses fear they may suffer a similar fate after the competent authority restricted their services to curbside. President of the shoe depot, Egan Camp, said trying to sell shoes curbside has been disastrous. Since the onset of the pandemic, he has let go more than half of his staff. Now he says he may have to close as early as next week.
You were going to look at the numbers at the end of this week, but I might not open next week just because I'm actually losing money instead of making money. It's cheaper for me to turn off the lights, turn off the ACs, save the salaries, because we can't even cover the few salaries that we have because it's just an impossible system.
He's not alone. Manager at Rubens Palmdale, Wanda Cartwright, and assistant manager at Lorraine's Palmdale, Vanessa Heel, says they have also seen a drastic decrease in business.
It's not going at all. People cannot look at clothes and try them on. They can't pick what they want. We'll have to, each one of us will have to take each items to the door for them to see.
For instance, if they ask for a bra, we have to bring out a few different styles of bra and for them to choose what they want. So you could imagine if it's 4 customers and you have to bring out, and then sometimes when you bring them all this stuff out, they don't want it.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Bertha McDermott.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs is warning Bahamians traveling abroad to take sufficient funds with them in the event they run into additional expenses as a result of COVID restrictions. Officials say more Bahamians are approaching Bahamas embassies and consulates overseas requesting financial assistance related to COVID-19 testing, quarantine accommodations, and airline ticket changes. However, the ministry says its overseas missions do not have sufficient discretionary financial resources to accommodate and maintain persons who find themselves stranded because of a lack of funds. Well, there have been very few curfew violations on New Providence since new measures were implemented last Friday in an effort to slow the spread of COVID-19, according to Commissioner of Police Paul Roll. However, he says police are concerned about the number of parties happening on the Family Islands. Jasmine Brown reports.
The police commissioner says days after that stricter lockdown measure was implemented, it appears curfew violations are dwindling.
For the most part, it's been Persons have been in compliance.
Last week, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis announced a number of new restrictions for New Providence and Abaco, including a 24-hour curfew on weekends and a 7 p.m. curfew on weekdays. All retail businesses except for food stores are limited to curbside-only services, and beaches and parks are closed once again. Over the holiday weekend, New Providence and Abaco was placed on a 24-hour curfew. Despite the 3-day weekend, Rolls says there were very few curfew violations. Rolls said he believes the message is getting through to New Providence residents.
I think over the weekend we probably cited about 5 persons in Nassau in total.
In a press conference last week, Rolls said there were some 865 breaches of the COVID-19 emergency orders between March and the end of September. As it relates to the Family Islands that face far fewer restrictions, the COP says there are some concerns after video surfaced on social media of large-scale parties. Rolls said the incidents on the Family Islands have been dealt with.
Dealt with that. That was dealt with, and the operator of that was cited. So, but we are ticketing now, so there's a delay in the court proceedings with those. But that's an ongoing. And wherever we find it, if persons were to be in breach, we're going to take decisive action and we'll ticket them.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
More news on the way, but here's a first look at weather with meteorologist Greg Thompson. Good evening, Greg.
Thanks, Kyle. I'm meteorologist Greg Thompson with your first look at weather. Outside our studios, we have partly cloudy skies. Temperature of 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Your winds are out of the southeast at 8 knots. Feels like temperature around 83 degrees Fahrenheit. And we do have a couple of isolated showers on the outside as well. Satellite-wise, moisture associated with the frontal boundary lifting back towards the north. That frontal boundary is extending across the northwest Bahamas. Showers and thunderstorms across the area will continue tonight through tomorrow. That's your first look at weather. Your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come, the unemployment benefit drops to $100 per week. You've got reactions. Plus, a family prepares to bid farewell to the 7-year-old boy killed in Nassau Village. Stay tuned.
This is a huge deal. NFL Sunday Ticket is back, only with Rev Trio. All day football, all day Sunday. Enjoy all the benefits of Trio with a huge extra. Never miss a game with NFL Sunday Ticket, included in your Rev Trio bundle. All you have to do is opt in. TV, phone, and internet starting at just $99. Call 601-8992 to sign up now. Visit www.rev.bs/promotions for details.
As government's unemployment assistance dropped to $100 per week, some unemployed Bahamians fear they will have an even tougher time now making ends meet. Jared Hayes has that.
With government's unemployment assistance program going from $150 a week to $100 a week, many are saying that's just not enough to live on.
Tamika Burrows is a 33-year-old single mother, and today she's trying to get some help from NIB.
I have 4 kids. I depend on the National Food Agency. They help me on Fridays. So that's what I'm living off right now.
Burrows hasn't worked since March and relies on government assistance to feed her kids. She says providing for her family during the pandemic has been tough, and an extra $400 per month would go a long way for her.
It'll be a big help for me. In which way? I get to pay my bills, help keep food in the house for my children, and other little stuff.
While Burrows is eager for an extra $400 a month, many who rely on government's unemployment assistance program are disappointed to see it drop from $150 to $100 per week. The program is available for workers impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. One hotel worker who chose not to apply for the benefit slammed the benefits being offered.
It's a bunch of garbage. That's my feeling. I'm giving you right out front. I feel like if the government could find money to pump like $20 million into sidewalk, I don't know.
The out-of-work hotel employee says his parents taught him to save. He says some of his fellow workers need the help more than him.
I know so many people needed that right now. So seeing that I could manage with what I have, I don't know for how long, but I just prefer the people who really, really need it, because it's a burden right now.
The program was set to expire last month, but was continued for a second time due to so many people still struggling with unemployment during the pandemic. For some, though, unemployment was an issue long before the pandemic. 39-year-old Samuel Morgan has been unemployed since 2017. He also had a hotel job but quit that for a job in maritime. Since losing that job, things have been tough for the father of a 7-year-old girl.
Well, I think it's bad because plenty of people have jobs, not me. Need to pay their bills. Very sad.
Morgan says family is helping him to get through. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
Weeks after 7-year-old Ray's Williams was shot and killed outside of his Nassau Village home, his heartbroken family held a private viewing days ahead of his burial. Dressed in a white and gold suit and a crown, the child's body lay in a casket covered with his favorite superheroes. While most of the family visited the funeral home on Wednesday during a private viewing, Ray's uncle, Ricardo Thompson, attended today's viewing. He said Ray's grandmother had reservations about him living in Nassau Village.
My mommy never wanted him to be in Nassau Village. That was always a fear. I don't like the little boy in Nassau Village. And he went up there, and it happened in Nassau Village. But I miss him, because every time he know the time with me. And he had love in his heart for me.
The second grader was killed in a drive-by shooting in September. Thompson said it feels like deja vu as he buried his 10-year-old son, who died from complications from cerebral palsy. According to Thompson, Ray's grandmother is taking his death extremely hard.
Her dream was to carry Ray's on the trip after all this COVID-19 thing. And every night I have to comfort her because all she doing is crying. I have to move the picture and then.
CEO of Sunset Mortuary, Idina Moss, said it was an honor to carry out funeral arrangements free of charge to help the grieving family. She encouraged residents of Nassau Village to line the streets tomorrow morning during the march and funeral service.
Tomorrow, as we leave from here, we're planning to have a parade that is going to take him from here in a chariot. We plan to take him through the community of Nassau Village, as we said before, and then on to Woodlawn Gardens to his final resting place.
Well, several public schools throughout the capital were forced to close this week due to COVID-19 exposure, according to Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson, who said Woodcock, Yellow Elder, and Sybil Strawn primary schools, as well as C.H. Reeves Junior High, are among them. She confirmed that several teachers are also in quarantine and awaiting test results. Well, during a press conference today, Education Director Marcellus Taylor was asked how many schools are currently closed because of exposure.
No, I can't. I don't know the number. We have established the protocols. All of the school leaders know what those protocols are. They call the surveillance unit, they call the Department of Environmental Health Services directly. They organize it. If they need assistance, the district superintendents are able to do. We have someone who keeps general records, but I don't know that right off.
Taylor says whenever there is a suspected case at a school, education officials follow guidance from the Ministry of Health.
So we are guided by the advice that they provide. If they tell us that 7 of the classrooms need to be clean and disinfected and sanitized, then we do that.
Still to come, find out what sent police officers to Fox Hill. Stay tuned.
We share our stories because there is power in every story.
There is hope in every story.
There is healing
in every story.
Our stories will inspire you.
They will change you. They will empower you. Because there is freedom in every story.
Join me, Erlene Camille, and my guest every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. and Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. for powerful, revealing, life-changing stories. Journey TV, we share life's truths.
Fox Hill residents received much-needed help today thanks to an event spearheaded by Police Commissioner Paul Roll. A team of officers gave out food parcels on Freedom Park. Grateful residents said the food parcels came at a crucial time for them.
Important because I know there's plenty of people suffering, and there's a lot of hungry people in Nassau, and I appreciate this very much.
It's nice because it was roasting out here again, like, people fighting and carrying and stuff like that, so it's good.
It's important. When I go out, sit down under the tree. If I feel like eating my biscuit, I'll eat my biscuit. But I had some oatmeal for my breakfast, but I'll sit under the tree when I reach back and eat this.
Roll said officers want to do all they can to help residents across the island.
We came into the Fox Hill community to just give a little something back to persons in the community and to encourage everybody to continue to wear their masks, continue to practice social distancing. That is what we want to do. This is the lighter part of policing. We want the members of the Fox Hill community to know that we are here for them and that we support them and encourage them to partner with the police as we try to keep everybody in this community and throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas safe.
Still to come, what's happening in sports, and later, the Royal Fidelity Market Watch. Stay tuned.
This is a huge deal. NFL Sunday Ticket is back, only with Rev Trio. All day football, all day Sunday. Enjoy all the benefits of Trio with a huge extra. Never miss a game with NFL Sunday Ticket, included in your Rev Trio bundle. All you have to do is opt in. TV, phone, and internet starting at just $99. Call 601-8992 to sign up now. Visit www.rev.bs/promotions for details.
In sports, baseball playoff action heating up with a couple of must-win games. Marcellus Hall reports.
Major League Baseball playoff action last night saw two teams getting some much-needed wins. Let's take you right now to those highlights.
Turnaround games in both the American League and National League Championship Series last night. In the National League Championship Series, the powerhouse LA Dodgers trying to avoid a 3-0 deficit to the Atlanta Braves. Dodgers wasting no time. They jumped out to an 11-run first inning. They end up with 15 in the game on the way to a 15-3 rout. Dodgers hitting 5 home runs in this one as they still trail the series 2-1 ahead of tonight's Game 4. Clayton Kershaw will start on the mound for the Dodgers. Bryce Wilson making his playoff debut for the Braves. Over in the American League, Houston Astros facing elimination against the Tampa Bay Rays, down 3-0 in the series. Astros needing a win to keep the series alive. Jose Altuve with a homer to put the Astros on the board. George Springer, he would add a 2-run blast in the 5th. Houston holds on for the 4-3 victory. They force at least a Game 5 today.
Field, and right there to make the play is Springer. Ball game.
And with the playoff action set to continue tonight, we'll give you full details of all that action and so much more coming up for you tomorrow. Reporting for Our News, I'm Marcellus Hall.
And that's a look at news. We throw it back to meteorologist Greg Thompson for the extended weather forecast.
Thanks again, Kyle. In our second look at weather, on our satellite, moisture associated with the front boundary lifting back towards the north, generating some showers and thunderstorms across the northwest Bahamas. Those showers and thunderstorms will continue to lift towards the north. The tropics remaining quiet. We have a couple of tropical waves out there. Nothing really happening, but we will turn our attention towards the Gulf of Mexico later on. Your boating forecast for all areas: east to southeast winds 10 to 15 knot, seas running 2 to 4 feet. High tide will be at 7:21 tonight. Now here's a look at your national forecast. Now we'll look at your extended forecast through Tuesday. That's a look at our weather. Make it a great night, everyone.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by Royal Fidelity, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
Thank you for joining us for Our News Tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Kyle Joaquin. Remember, you can catch Our News on the Go, the Go Play app. Have a good evening, Bahamas, but stay tuned for a brand new episode of On the Record with host Jerome Sawyer.